Alright, I wanted to do this vlog. This is my third time starting it up. This video is about me just not reconnecting, but me remembering my dad and the conversations we had. Mainly in the vehicle when he would drive me around or go to and fro when I would come home, visiting from Atlanta, Georgia. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday was Juneteenth. Sunday was Father's Day, and of course, Father's Day causes me to reflect on my dad, maybe a percentage more than what I normally do every day. And, I've been doing vlogs on this weight loss journey. I just want to talk about the things we talked about. I've been watching a lot of videos about diabetes, blood sugar and things, and I know one of the things that my dad talked to me about the most was not necessarily about his relationship with his wife, though that was often the topic. We didn't talk about his daughter much, if any at all. We talked about blood sugar, foods, and I remember he would share with me some information about foods and what to eat, not to eat. And I acknowledged it, but I was still sort of figuring out for myself what I could do there. So, and I don't know, maybe I would have paid more attention if I saw him get results, but I didn't really see him get results, and his health was getting worse. And, when I first found out that he had diabetes, I thought of it like how I thought everything else was with him. You have that setback and you bounce back. But when it came to the diabetes, my dad didn't quite bounce back. And on top of that, just another side note, I am on the tail end of a cold, so my sinuses are still not 100%. But I still have to go to work because I'm a contractor still. We talked about diabetes, we talked about blood sugar, insulin, and he did what he could to maintain. He didn't talk to me about what he could or could not afford with it, or the cost of medical care. I do remember him making certain decisions that didn't make sense to me from a financial standpoint, but my dad would not really talk to me about those things, but I do remember him talking to me about it, and I know he wanted to get rid of that stomach really bad because he knew that a lot of blood was wrapped up in the stomach. He wants to get rid of the stomach, and I remember bringing him a food scale to help him weigh out his food so that he could start tracking his calories. And he told me that's the same thing my doctor told me. Now, nutrition and calories and all that stuff I learned on my own, but I did spend a long time not knowing that or not really fully understanding it, and it took me a while to really get it and understand it. But then also the conversations about blood sugar and blood and insulin and diabetes and obesity and all this stuff. We would talk about that a lot, but things didn't change. But we still talked about it a lot, and I think talked to me about, at least helped me. But I think what really cemented what he talked to me about was him getting results and him losing weight. He was a heavy-set guy, had a large stomach, stored a lot of fat around the midsection, endomorph body type, and also I was endomorph body type. The only thing I had advantage to me was my youth, because it's just one of those things. So I think that I did what I could to understand that process. But I remember looking at his bedstand, after I was cleaning out the house, and I saw a lot of these diabetic Landsets and tools to monitor blood and things of that nature. And I reflect on that, which is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm really on this insulin blood sugar thing because I was tracking calories, but honestly, when I was tracking my calories this time around on this journey, or before I really got a good kind of thing going, I will still have my Pepsi and I'll still have my bread with my turkey burger. I'm like, okay, I'm having a turkey burger with bread, with the cheese, with plenty of ketchup, because I love ketchup, which has sugar. And it's not a lot. And a serving of ketchup doesn't have a lot of sugar, but I don't eat a serving of ketchup. You just kind of gloss over and say, it's all right. But it's not the case. And, I have another friend. He says he's pre-diabetic. I think he's diabetic because he's north of 400 pounds. And I thought about him. And I could tell he was not comfortable eating out. He wanted to do it to enjoy, but he's not comfortable. And I remember I wasn't comfortable with a lot of things when I was larger. When I was above 300 pounds, I wasn't comfortable. You're hearing all these bad stuff, but you don't really have the tools to really know how to do it, to get the weight down, dealing with the insulin. I'm really curious about this whole insulin thing and blood sugar thing, because I'm just very curious about it, because I remember my dad talking to me a lot about it, which is good to talk about it, but then what about the execution of it? If you got to get your blood sugar down, then we got to keep Pepsi out of the house. We got to keep potato chips out of the house. And that wasn't the case. And we use food as a gathering tool, as a common ground, which is good. I think every family should be able to gather around food. But then I think when you're not having family gatherings, I don't think you should eat family gathering style on your own every day. And I remember my dad and I would see him eat, and he cooked amazing tasting food. It tasted amazing. But it was large portions, and I was right there. When I come home, we are tearing up a lot of food. We're just happy to be together, tearing this food up, but we weren't really cognitive of what it was doing to our bodies. We weren't really cognitive of that. We was just together, we got food, we're blessed, that's it. But we're blessed having too much sugar. We're blessed having, and I'm not saying this like I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just curious about it. I'm just curious about that. And I'm just curious about obesity in all people, black people, also all people. But I'm also curious of why I see more obese black people than I see white people. What is that? Is that a lack of knowledge? What is that? Culture? I know we got a culture of food. We got a culture of taking what was bad and making it taste good. Slavery, I get that. And the disconnect between the transatlantic slave, I get that. But what's the connection? How does it all put together? So, I'm glad that my dad talked to me about it. I do wish that he had made changes. I think he made changes, but I think he still couldn't quite get it all together. And he also lived with his wife, my mom. And my mom would cook for him. That was a love language. Now, I can't say how, I don't know if I could say it was a very high-functioning marriage towards the later years. But I know my mom cooked for him, and he loved it. It's like, here's how it looked like for me. You're my mom, for my mom's like, you're my husband, I'm cooking, here you go, we've been doing this, here's the routine, I love you, I'm cooking for you. Boom. I don't know anything about nutrition like that. I'm not weighing out food, but I'm cooking. Well, I love you too, baby. I'm going to eat this food because you cooked it and it tastes really good. And while things aren't exactly the way I want them to be in my life, it feels good to be able to eat something cooked by you because you're my wife and we are in a committed relationship. So that's the thing. So now I'm really trying to go after cutting sugar. I'm still eating regular food. Like today, I had steak and eggs instead of bacon and eggs. I just wanted to try it out, so I had some steak and eggs. I didn't really season the meat much at all. Really, it was very straightforward. Not a lot of salt, and I had that, and it was all right. It was all right. But I'm just curious to see what happens if I keep eating. Like, I'm not eating a whole lot of food, too. I'm still pretty regulatory on the food. I'm probably eating less calories than I should. But the meat fills me up. The eggs fills me up. You know, all that stuff. So I'm not really sure about that. I know the scale's going down. I haven't been drinking my Pepsi. I have not had French fries. I had some fried rice with my mom for Father's Day. That was good, but that was one day. I'm back. I don't keep rice. Well, I got rice in the house, but I'm not cooking it. I got oatmeal in the house. I'm not cooking it. And I got a cold, so I'm like, dang. So I'm just trying to heal up from that. But I just wanted to rant on my vlogging channel about diabetes. And my dad talked about it. And why that's one of the reasons that's motivating me to really explore this lower sugar kind of diet lifestyle. Because I'll be the first to say I will tear up some Pepsi. You put some soda in front of me, Dr. Pepper, Coke, Cherry Pepsi, Pepsi, Orange, Fanta, Grape Fanta, Strawberry Soda, Tahitian Treat. You put it in front of me, I will squirt, Verner's, Surrogate. I know the flavors, and I'll tear it up. And I haven't been drinking that, and the scale's going down. I ain't really worked out like I wanted to. I was supposed to be part of that Fit Smart program, but they jacked it up in the beginning, and that was a boundary. I'm like, no, this is not okay. Y'all said this thing says it's gonna be all right at this time. Y'all not doing it at that time. And now the owner is like hitting me with the don't answer the phone now. After the owner made all these statements saying, hey, I'm gonna do this, take care of this, handle this. Now he ain't answering the phone. That's not cool. That's not cool. But I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna trust God in that. I'm gonna work it out. And it's gonna be okay. But yeah, that's my talk. I'll see y'all later.